What does creep in sometimes is when people are trying to be stronger and really reach that pose and really touch their toes. Like, it's nice to look great in a yoga pose, but it's not the end goal. It shouldn't be the goal at all. And then hopefully you have a teacher that's telling you this.
Hey Zouk Digital, welcome back to sunny Awana. It's a beautiful day here in Resorts World Genting, and you'll recognize the good friend that we're talking to today from all the incredible yoga that she has been teaching us during this difficult time. Alicia, first and foremost, thank you so much for all of the effort you've put into the yoga and the meditation. I know for sure it's helped me during this difficult time when there's been the stresses of the lockdown, but also wondering how to get these difficult thoughts out of your head on a day-to-day basis. How do you find that yoga and wellness and meditation has helped you over the years, and how do you find that you communicate that through to students?
Yeah, good questions. I feel I've always found that exercise has helped me greatly reduce my stress, and the endorphins, the boost it gives you, I think everyone feels that immediately. So with yoga and meditation, they may be more subtle, but once you start practicing, you'll definitely see some changes. Just like any healthy practice that we want to introduce into our life, like healthy eating, better sleep, exercise. So yoga is exactly the same, and meditation especially, like you mentioned. A lot of people are intimidated by meditation, I think. Even I was in the beginning. Like, you need to be some guru or in touch with some religion, or you have to practice yoga, and it's really not like that. So you just got to find whatever suits you. There's so many platforms now, which is great with social media. So you can do a guided meditation like we've seen. I guide through my voice, and you can do it from 5 minutes a day or 5 minutes every other day, and you'll immediately see the benefits. It just relaxes your mind so that you can zone in onto one thing, which is what I think everyone struggles with, because our minds wander and they're jumping to the future and they're stressing about the past, especially with the COVID-19 and the difficulties and the loneliness that it's bringing on. So yeah.
I, for one, have been lucky enough to have one-on-one sessions with yourself, group sessions with yourself, and you have the perfect manner and the perfect voice for yoga and meditation. It really relaxes me. I think from a male perspective, yoga wasn't something that I felt comfortable trying before, but I'm really happy that I have. For meditation, what do you think the main principles are for people to think about when they're about to approach? I'll give you an example. I find it very difficult to switch off the thoughts in my head. What's your advice to someone like myself when looking at meditation saying, I'm just not sure if it's for me?
I think my advice would be to not think of anything. Like, already you telling yourself, I can't switch off my thoughts. Like, everyone struggles with that, but don't go in straight into it thinking like, oh, I can't concentrate. I can't sit here and close my eyes. Like, there's no right or wrong way to meditate. You can lie down, you can do a moving meditation where you just take your shoes off and walk on the grass, and you'll soon find that your mind starts calming down and zoning in, like on the grass, on the trees, things you never noticed before. So I think clear your mind, don't have any preconceived notions, and then dive into it, and you'll definitely find something that works for you.
For sure, and I think that's great advice. I think being able to focus on one element rather than 500 elements is a huge plus. Let me ask you a little bit about wellness. As a wellness coach, it's a very broad topic. It's a very broad subject. I mean, I think some people look at it as mental health, some people look at it as physical health, some people look at it. How would you describe wellness and the impact it can have on everyone's day-to-day life?
Yeah, I think well-being in general, everyone's starting to recognize and becoming more familiar with the notions and the words around it. So even positive psychology, there was a stigma around psychology and not wanting to go into a psychologist's office, and it's always negatives, like there's something wrong with me that I need to speak to someone. But positive psychology is the exact opposite. It's like what makes us happy and what can make us even happier. And then well-being, I think, stems from that. So all the healthy practices first that you can focus on and do concretely and quantitatively, so you can write things down and measure them, and then slowly that gets ingrained into your mind and it'll flow out to all the aspects of your life. So there's some great practices, and there's lots of well-being coaches, like you said, out there. I don't know if I consider myself one, but I take them on for my own life. You know, just knowing things doesn't mean that you're putting them into your practice daily, you know.
I think that's a very good monitor to live by if you can keep track on your progress.
Yeah.
Because I think when we look at people who are in the public eye or through social media and we see people who are super accomplished, you imagine that it's a very small step to get there, and you know, I'm so far away from that, but it takes years to get to that kind of level. I think it inadvertently and unnecessarily affects people's confidence. For meditation and yoga, I see it as a way of not just diffusing, but it's also great for the core, it's also great for the physicality, and it's a confidence booster. Do you find that?
Yeah, I do. You also touched on something beforehand, social comparison. You were saying, like, we're all guilty of it, especially with social media now. We compare ourselves, we judge ourselves really harshly. So, like you were saying, you're looking at someone else and where they've gone, and you think, oh, I could never get there. So that's a really bad thing that our mind does, social comparison. So if we can try and limit that, like whether it's limited time on social media or you start deleting those accounts when you feel something negative, then you realize, okay, no, this is not putting me in a good space, so let's take that away and follow someone else that's more positive. Yoga and meditation about the body and physicality, there's definitely increased self-esteem when you feel better and you look better, and lots of people like results that they can see and touch, so that's great. Some people don't need that, and they can also feel their mind is just happier with staying the same size, so yeah.
I think that's really solid advice also, to eliminate negative influences. I always remember someone saying to me, if a mosquito flies around you, try and swat it away. But sometimes we don't do the same thing for negative influences that we might be impressed with. The two are kind of counterproductive.
It's true. I've seen it a lot with binge watching, or like everyone's just like, oh, I've just spent hours on Netflix, finished this whole series and so many seasons that it had and whatever. It's not necessarily negative, but you should check yourself and see how you're feeling after that. Did it actually make you happier after sitting for 9 hours and watching something? Maybe if you enjoy it that much, you could actually break it up, like watch 2 hours and then say, oh, I'm going to save 2 hours for tomorrow. And you'd be surprised how much happier that makes you just by breaking up your good experiences.
Looking at mental health, which I think is a fantastic hot topic right now because it's something that a lot of people struggle with. We interviewed James Haskell, who is a 77 cap England international, and he has really pushed forward with a lot of rugby players who have retired, who are struggling to come to terms with where they are in the world today. Talitha Tan, who's a singer that we spoke to last week, also said that she has issues, sometimes feeling comfortable in her own body, and I think people are a lot more comfortable, which is a fantastic thing to admit, hey, I've got some insecurities, or hey, I'm struggling a bit. One of the areas that I think your yoga and your meditation can really help is people who are struggling internally to be happy within themselves. Where do you see the place of, for instance, let's say meditation and yoga in helping people to take a step back and come to terms with maybe the negative voices in their own head?
Well, exactly. The good thing about yoga is that we're constantly telling you to focus on body and breath and fuse them together. So that immediately stops your thought patterns and your negative thoughts. What does creep in sometimes is when people are trying to be stronger and really reach that pose and really touch their toes. Like, it's nice to look great in a yoga pose, but it's not the end goal. It shouldn't be the goal at all. And then hopefully you have a teacher that's telling you this. So it's about enjoying the experience. It's a practice. You've got to take it slow, and you'll start loving yourself and feeling great, like when you do achieve something, but you don't have to. So just by syncing the breath to the mind, you're already taking away those negative thoughts, and then the other positive will come.
And for anyone who's looking to take up yoga, who may have watched the videos and ummed and ahed, or maybe even, like myself, have looked at the meditation and went, I'm not sure, what would be your pieces of advice to people to take that plunge and give it that first step?
First piece of advice is everyone's got 5 minutes to try something new, right? So try it out. 5 minutes is more than enough. There's loads of meditations, maybe not so much yoga practices for 5 minutes. There's 10, 15 minutes, little routines that you can try out. You'll lose nothing, and if you gain something, then it'll be great. And if you continue with that, if you found a small gratitude, it's just going to get better and better and better. So just stay at it.
Solid advice. Thanks as always for your time. We love the videos. We love doing it. I can tell you I've done this firsthand. I went to Alicia, I couldn't do a handstand, and within a very short period of time she had me standing on both hands. The proof is in the pudding. I've experienced it firsthand. It's fantastic. We hope through Zouk Digital you get a chance to try these new things: yoga, meditation with Russell, golf, dance classes. As Alicia said, I think it's really important to understand it takes just 5 minutes. Just give it a try. Alicia, fantastic. Thanks so much. We look forward to more and more. And I understand that once we open this fantastic beach club, there might be a chance to do live classes with you.
Yeah, I hope so. I would love that. Yeah, social interaction, it's important as well. So it would be lovely to have a one-on-one experience. Yeah.
And people can reach out to you how if they would like to take classes?
They can message me on Instagram or leave a message on YouTube or LinkedIn. There's so many platforms. If you go to Zouk, you will find me and my Instagram handle on that.
Fantastic. Well, Alicia, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
It's a gorgeous day. We're going to go off and do some yoga. And everyone take care. And thank you again.
You're welcome. Thank you.